Agent Romanoff. You miss me?
Oh yeah, Charles, we got ourselves an X-Men fan.
Captain.
Your Highness.
Captain, big fan, Spider-Man. Hey everyone.
Hey guys, and welcome to Film Artsy, your #1 source for all things films and movies. My name is Elijah, and we have another really interesting update that's coming out of this past weekend, but reports are coming out now that it looks like things are moving along, in fact, for the upcoming Ant-Man 3 movie. Now, this one is really interesting. While Ant-Man in general kind of has served as an outside MCU entity who's made appearances in kind of the main storylines along the way, but definitely was very different thematically than any other series in the MCU, especially because we also see the star of this film, Paul Rudd, take on a writing position and serve as a producer alongside the other team at Marvel. So reports are now coming out that Paul Rudd has completed the script for Ant-Man 3, which is set to release sometime in the future. We still are kind of unknown on any timeline involving that film. Things have been rumored and tossed around for quite some time now, suggesting that the movie would be canceled altogether, be put as a Disney Plus show, all the way to it's back on. And what's really interesting about this is there's also rumors coming out that we're going to see some pretty major comic book entities enter in this film as well. Apparently, there's the possibility that this script will showcase the agencies like MODOK, which essentially is known as mental organism designed only for killing, which would be maybe one of the major antagonists. And then A.I.M, which is actually an entity that was in Iron Man 3 and something we've talked about here on this channel as something possibly coming up in the future, just from set release photos we have seen not too long ago. So there's definitely some major plot lines being introduced that are going to tie back to some earlier things that have happened in the MCU, which is kind of nice to see. There was a lot of things that kind of came out of the Iron Man trilogy that maybe never really culminated to anything else, and it's going to be nice to kind of revisit those themes and take advantage of them with characters, as while Ant-Man and the Wasp was a great film, it does seem like to an extent that movie did serve a little bit as a filler story, and they really couldn't go as far as maybe they were capable of going with the story just because of the timeline placement. So it'll be really cool to see what ends up happening if they're kind of able to introduce some new elements in an upcoming movie. Now, of course, this film will probably see some sort of summer release, and we might see some sort of big crossover event in this film. We might see one other major character in the MCU join in as a cast member, as just in general, the Ant-Man and the Wasp movies perform a little bit less than some of the other major MCU properties. So it's not completely crazy to think that Marvel might want to try to boost the property as a whole and maybe try to get more people to go and see the film. Of course, though, this third movie probably has the highest likelihood of seeing more success, as a lot of people are now more familiar with who Ant-Man is, especially because he had a much more prominent role in Avengers Endgame, and where in Ant-Man and the Wasp, people only really knew Ant-Man from the short sequence he's in the airport scene in Captain America Civil War, unless of course you went and saw the first Ant-Man movie, which not as many people did. So it's really interesting to see and talk about what could be coming from the future with Ant-Man 3 and what they end up doing. If you were to pick one character to take on and join up in the cast for this film, who would you guys like to see? Leave a comment down below. There's a lot of ideas out there that would really work well. I think it could be interesting to see Bruce Banner and the Hulk, or whatever ends up happening, kind of enter the fold in this film, just because there's that contrast, of course, of Bruce Banner and the Hulk to Ant-Man. And it's really interesting because of the situation with the Hulk's licensing. It would be a great opportunity to kind of put him in the movie, especially if he's not going to be in the upcoming Thor movie, which we don't know about yet. So what do you guys think? Who would you like to see in it? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on for more videos like this, and we'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye, guys.
I'm about to.
Hi everybody.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Hi.
See you guys.
Know anybody?